Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Service Dog channel. I apologize in advance if you hear any animal sounds in the background. That would be my sweet fur babies. This is a brand new channel as of August 2024. I started this channel for many good reasons: to educate the public about service dogs, to educate businesses about how to handle service dog situations, to educate service dog handlers about the ADA guidelines regarding service dogs, to educate potential service dog handlers about what they are getting themselves into, to bring you the latest service dog news and court rulings, to bring you interviews with service dog handlers, and to discuss all things service dog related. Please note that I am not a professional service dog trainer or a disability lawyer or a lawyer of any kind. Any information that I give you is from my personal experience or information that I gather from the internet, like news articles and ADA guidelines. For those who don't already know, ADA stands for Americans with Disabilities Act, and it is enforced by the Department of Justice, otherwise known as the DOJ. The Department of Justice is an entity of the federal government. My understanding is that when state laws and federal laws conflict with each other, the federal law overrules the state law. I believe everyone needs to be educated about service dogs, whether you are a person who needs a service dog, a business owner, a medical professional, or even just a member of the public who sometimes encounters a service dog. The more everyone knows about service dogs, the less likely that any harm will come to the dog, the handler, business owners, and the general public. That being said, allow me to introduce myself. My name is T.L. Paris, and I am the owner and creator of the Service Dog channel. I also own a publishing company called Paris Press. I am in the process of writing a book about overcoming grief when you suffer the loss of a pet. As of right now, I do have some journals and notebooks for sale on Amazon, but here on YouTube, my focus is service dogs. This is my background. I was raised an Air Force brat. That means a parent, specifically my dad, was in the Air Force. Then I joined the Air Force myself when I was 18 years old. Believe it or not, I became a jet engine mechanic on B-52s, KC-135s, and F-16s. After 11 years, I took an early separation bonus and went to college full-time. Bill Clinton was president at the time, and he was dramatically cutting the size of the military. Using my GI benefits, I earned a Bachelor of Business Administration in International Business and a Master's of Business Administration in Leadership. In addition to my military service, I also have worked for several Fortune 500 companies such as Lockheed Martin Aeronautics, General Electric, Cessna Aircraft Company, and Michelin Tire Company. I have been a technician, a mechanic, a supervisor, and a manager. I have been a telemarketer. Does this sound familiar to you? Hi, my name is TL from BMG Music Company. We would like to give you 15 CDs for the price of one. When I was in high school, I served ice cream at Baskin-Robbins. I still think they have the best ice cream. I have lived in Texas, Arizona, Kansas, Louisiana, North Carolina, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Overseas, I was stationed in Germany for 4 years, and I have performed temporary duty assignments to Turkey and South Carolina. Just so you know, in all my travels, I have likely been to or passed through the state or region where you live. I have been to France, Belgium, Austria, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Italy, Mexico, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, California, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, Iowa, Illinois, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Utah, Washington State, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Alabama, Missouri, Oregon, Wisconsin, Connecticut, and Colorado. I have been to a ton of places. When I was serving in the military overseas during the first Gulf War, I experienced a traumatic event, which I will not detail to the public, that caused much emotional turmoil in my life. This was around 1992, when nobody had ever even heard of PTSD. After I got out of the military, this seemed to haunt me and cause me to behave in ways that most people didn't act. My family called me paranoid, and I can understand why. To me, the issue was that I could not understand how they could be so lax with their personal safety. Eventually, the traumatic experience took its toll on my personal and work life. My relationships suffered because of it. Thank the good Lord, I discovered a few options for obtaining a service dog, which would change my life. Did you know that service dogs were never even legally recognized until 1990? Just so you know, a psychiatric service dog is not the same as an emotional support dog. An emotional support dog is not trained to perform tasks to mitigate a disability, but a psychiatric service dog is very well trained to do things to lessen the intensity of a person's disability, and they are also trained to be very well behaved in public. I've had 2 service dogs, adding up to about 6 years of having a service dog with me, nearly 24/7. The first service dog was the result of a hybrid program, free to vets. The program paid a trainer to work with me and my dog once a week. I would take what I learned from her and work with my dog all week long. The following week, I would show her that we mastered the task, and she would give us a new task to learn. The program prefers to use a dog you already own because you already have a bond with that dog. The problem was that my dog was a senior dog, but she passed a physical exam and a temperament test. She was going to be my stopgap measure to get me by until my name came up on a waiting list for a program-trained dog, which would end up being about a year, at which time she would retire and the new dog would take over. The long-term goal was a program in Colorado that provides free service dogs to military veterans in need. Being in Texas, even though the dog was free, I did have to cover my expenses to travel there and back, as well as expenses to stay in Colorado for 2 weeks for the placement class. After the proper documentation was completed, I was placed on a waiting list. In December of 2017, I got my match. She was a gorgeous mixed breed of Alaskan Malamute and Australian cattle dog. She was professionally trained. All that was left was to train me how to handle her. It is a lot to learn. Once you get all the book learning out of the way, you start getting real-life experience. That's the hard part, learning how to handle difficult situations. I plan to share my experiences with you. My first service dog, the hybrid trained one, had to be put down due to her age. She could hardly get around anymore and refused to quit trying to follow me everywhere I went in the house. I couldn't stand to see her suffer. Last year, my second service dog retired at the age of about 9. We don't know her exact age because she started off as a stray dog. She was taken to a prison training program in Wyoming where a prisoner trained her in basic manners, and then she was transferred to the program in Colorado where they trained her to perform certain tasks. I don't want to bring another dog into my home right now because I already have 2 dogs, the retired service dog and a Pyrenees puppy. I say puppy in air quotes. She's actually about a year and a half old and pretty big. That one was supposed to be a livestock guardian dog for my chickens, but I didn't have the heart to make her stay outside 24/7, and she was scared of everything she saw. So she is now just a big indoor pet. Would I ever train her to be a service dog? I don't think so. She doesn't seem to have the right temperament for it. She is scared of everything, and she is more of a guard dog, barking at everyone and everything she is not familiar with. I live out in the country, and I can't even take her to the city in my car without her barking at the people in the cars around us at a traffic light. It's rather embarrassing. Besides my dogs, I have 6 chickens and 8 guinea fowl. I have no choice but to get out of bed every morning with all these little lives depending on me. If you have PTSD, you probably understand how hard it is to get out of bed in the mornings and start your day. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but guinea fowl are supposed to be great at keeping ticks and snakes off of your property. Just between me and you, they seem to be the dumbest birds I've ever seen. Boy, do I have some funny stories about them, though. Currently, I live on a couple of acres in southern Oklahoma, although I was born and raised in Texas, so I really am a Texan at heart. Now that you know a little about me and my life experiences, tell me about yourself in the comments section below. What role do you play in the service dog community? Are you a service dog handler? Are you thinking about getting a service dog? Are you a business owner? Or is there another reason that you are watching the videos on my channel? Are there any topics I have not covered that you would like to see? Do you have a military background? And what places have you lived in? In closing, I'm asking you to please browse my other videos if you'd like to. If you find them to be beneficial to you, you may consider clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you know anyone else that could benefit from this type of information on the Service Dog channel, please share this channel with them, along with each other. The more we share this information, the better we will all get along with each other. That's because people will understand the rights and expectations of service dogs and their handlers. Service dog handlers are already struggling with their disabilities that require the use of a service dog. And when they go out into the world and encounter an educated public, this will help them tremendously.